Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series.
Hey guys, it's Adam here, and I got a couple of packages here that I'm going to go ahead and unbox. These were both sent to me absolutely for free from some very cool people who basically just kind of wanted to give me some stuff, and I'll talk about it a little bit as I go. The thing is, they've both been sitting here for quite some time now, which is unfortunate, but it's my own fault. I've been, if you guys saw recently, I just completed my 5th video game generation retrospective, and all my time kind of went into that. Certainly I could have just opened my mail in that time, but I wanted to make a video for you guys, and I didn't really have the time to do that in between making those videos. So, I can do that now. Now this first one is a tad bittersweet, because this arrived after some of those videos had already come out. So why does that matter? Well, I already know what this is to some extent. This was sent to me by Reload Games, which is a store in the UK. I actually did a video on them a while ago, a couple months ago, where I had actually gone there and visited that store and checked it out. They were very thankful and appreciative of that video, so they actually said, hey, you know what, we're going to send you a couple of Amiga CD32 games. Now, I did a video on the Amiga CD32 as part of my 5th video game generation retrospective, so it would have been nice to have had this when I made that video, but hey, that's just how it is. Postal Service just wasn't quite fast enough for that, so I haven't had a chance to open it until now. So I do know it seems to be 2 games based on the way it feels, though I don't know what they are, so why don't we just go ahead and find out. Okay. We got a double pack. Overkill and Lunar Sea. That's 2 games on 1 disc, it looks like. Yeah, two games on 1 disc. That's really cool. So maybe this is actually 3 games, or possibly, is it going to be 4? Ultimate Body Blows. This is, looks like a fighting game. Yeah, it looks kind of like, based on the screenshots, it kind of looks like a Street Fighter clone. That's really cool. Case is a little bit damaged. Let's see if there's anything. Okay, this was, again, the Postal Service. Damn you, Postal Service. Made it take long, and then you broke the case. That's okay, though. This is just a standard jewel case. I can easily replace that. That's no problem at all. Yeah, that'll be cool. Put it in a new case, and I'll have 2 more, well, technically 3, games to add to my Amiga CD32 collection. That was really cool of you guys over at Reload Games. If you've never been to Reload Games, if you live in the UK or if you're visiting, you should definitely check that store out. And I want to say to them, not only thank you, but you know you didn't have to do this, right? Like, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. That was really cool of you, but it was absolutely not necessary to send me anything as a result of checking out your store. I would have happily done it anyway. I did do it anyway. It was just but this is really cool of you guys, so thank you very much for that. And if you don't know what the Amiga CD32 is, like I said, I just did my retrospective video on it, so you should take a look at that. But there you go, those are the games. That's really cool, and thank you again. Now this one, again, came a while ago. This was sent to me by a guy we will just refer to simply as John. He's a big collector of the Nintendo 64. It's his goal to get a full, at least full US set of all games. I don't know if he's going for the European or Japanese stuff. Tell me, John, if that's the case, if you're planning to do that. But regardless, what he will tell you, or I will tell you, or anyone who collects or is going for a complete game set will tell you, is that when you do that, you inevitably always end up with extra copies of games. And the reason for that is if you're looking for a rare game, let's say in the case of the N64, if you were looking for Conker's Bad Fur Day, it would generally be cheaper to buy it in a lot that comes with, like, 9 sports games as well, because the people who would bundle it together don't usually know what it's worth, and so they sell it for way less, as opposed to buying a game by itself from someone who does know what it's worth. So again, you end up with a lot of extras. So he messaged me and he was like, hey, that's what he explained this whole situation and said, I got a bunch of these extras, do you want any of them? And so I said, sure, if you don't want them. So I don't know which ones he sent, but I also know right at the last minute he also said, hey, I'm going to throw in this other thing. Rather than, I'll just open this up and you guys can see what that is. And I was pretty excited because I've never had that extra thing. Let's see if I can get this open here. I'm sure we'll inevitably get it open, but how quickly. Packed very well. Alright. There we go. Inside we have, this is a power supply for the thing. This is a stylus for the thing. And here is the thing. Go ahead and open up here. This is a Tiger GameCom. This, I don't know a whole lot about this. This is a, what I do know is that this is a handheld from the late 90s. It's black and white screen. Failed miserably. As far as I know, it only had like 10 games ever made for it. It did have certain online capabilities, but it was mostly for like text messaging and emailing and stuff. Yeah, it didn't have like traditional online support. He apparently included a couple of games here, which it stored 2 on the side, which is weird. One of them is Wheel of Fortune, and the other one looks to be Quiz Whiz Cyber Trivia. This is really cool. I've never actually seen a GameCom in person. It's actually called GameCom. It's often, people think it's called Game.com because there's a dot in the middle of that, and your natural instinct after seeing a dot and a com is to say .com. But believe it or not, that wasn't the thing when this came out. It's actually just called the GameCom. So yeah, I've never actually held one or even seen one really. I've seen them in boxes. This is really cool. So obviously this is brand new to me. To have a new handheld, that's really, really cool. And I'm guessing that this power supply, oh yeah, he mentioned this. He said he went out and bought a power supply at Radio Shack, and you should not have paid that much for the power supply, man. I could have tracked something down. Thank you for doing that, but that was really not necessary. Wow. Yeah, so what else we got? Alright, so we're going to go over the N64 games, which this is all packed incredibly well. Wow, I wasn't expecting this many of them. So we're just going to go do the list here. First up is, we're going to just open them up one at a time. Backstage, ECW Backstage Assault, Army Men Sarge's Heroes, NASCAR 2000, Turok 2 The Seeds of Evil, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, Lego Racers, WCW NWO Revenge, F1 World Grand Prix, Madden Football 64, NFL Quarterback Club 99. This is a Japanese copy of Pocket Monsters Stadium, also known as Pokemon Stadium, although I believe he said something about how this was actually not the same game, but he'd be the person to be sure of that. I am certainly not. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Madden 99, NASCAR 99, and finally WWF Warzone, which was actually a really awesome game. I played this a lot when I was a kid, so actually having it now on the N64 is really cool. So, yeah, that's it, guys. I want to say thank you to, of course, Reload Games for hooking me up with, again, these CD32 games. You guys really did not have to do that. And, of course, to John, thank you very much for the GameCom. Again, that's just awesome to have a brand new console. The games, of course, was very cool of them. Actually, come to think of it, I know of a couple other games that exist for this where there was some version of Sonic Jam for this thing, and, or at least in name only, and some version of Resident Evil 2. I know, right? But apparently that exists. Of course, thank you for the power supply. That was, you know, to go out and actually buy one. Thank you. That was very, very cool of you. And of course, for all these N64 games, that was really great. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 N64 games, all for free. Thank you, John. That was really awesome of you. You did not have to do that. And thank you guys for watching this. And I do want to say this again, in all seriousness. I do appreciate when people send me stuff. That's really, really cool. And thank you for that. But you don't have to do that. It's really, truly not necessary. But I do appreciate it. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.